Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Jackson. I'm the Executive Director of the Loon Foundation. The story behind the Loon Foundation basically began 20 years ago, and it kind of started right here. We formed a little group called the Ruby Lake Lagoon Nature Reserve Society, and our aim was to basically spread the word about biodiversity, the importance of ecosystems and habitats and watersheds. We helped the resort next door to buy the land here to basically save this beautiful spot. 5 years later we built the Iris Griffith Centre, which is an education centre. So we're very into education, we're very into kind of igniting interest in kids to get connected with nature, because we think that the more you get connected to the natural world, the more you appreciate it and the more you look after it. Just about every school child on the coast has been through this building at one time or another, so it's a pretty special place. I think we make a difference by example and by doing things, and people see what we do, and although they might be very sceptical to begin with, they come round to it. When we started working on the water supply for South Pender 15 years ago, there were 400 people screaming and shouting about all the problems with the water. We wrote a water master plan and we got $6 million from the province to completely redo our water system here. And then when they got clean water, and for the first time in their lives, they could actually have white sheets and white tablecloths that weren't stained with dark liquid that was coming out of the taps, they all support us. We solved the problems with the water. Our connection with the First Nations has been ongoing for a very long time. Since the First Nations here, the Sechelt Nation, has been given the responsibility to oversee natural resources here on the coast, our connection has grown because we basically deal in monitoring natural resources a lot of the time. So there's a real connection there, and we have been exploring ways in which we can work together to maintain and enhance the natural resources that we have, because they're under threat. I mean, particularly salmon fisheries are declining all the time. There's problems with loss of old growth forest, but there's definitely a big opportunity for working together. We hosted the Biodiversity Summit. From that, we wrote a biodiversity strategy for the whole Sunshine Coast. And so we now have a kind of a blueprint for where to go with trying to protect biodiversity on the Sunshine Coast. And so as a part of that project, we decided that there was nowhere near enough monitoring and research happening in the oceans. Right here, this is where Pender Harbour began. It's where the First Nations settlements were. So this goes back thousands of years. And what we're doing here is we are going to build what we call PODS, the Pender Harbour Ocean Discovery Station. So the main theme of it is monitoring and research, because that's what's missing and that's what we need in order to tackle climate change. This will bring people in because it will have all sorts of exhibits about biodiversity, about how you can help tackle climate change. It's bringing arts and science together, which is where they should be. It's going to have research labs, it's going to have classrooms and interactive displays. There'll be a diving school as well, and there'll be also a 360-degree theatre here. So it's about education, it's about bringing people together, it's about doing things, and we have to do it for the kids. We owe it to the kids. The Earth Fair store started up because we decided that we needed to have a real physical presence in the town, in Madeira Park, and it was very successful. It was more successful than anything in actually attracting more people to find out more about what we were doing. All the profits go into the Loon Foundation, so it's completely a charitable store, and it's becoming extremely profitable. You have to look at different ways of getting revenue in to charities to make them viable and to keep them going. I really think it matters where people put their money. I think it's amazing how many people don't even know where their money is really being put, and an awful lot of it can be going into oil companies, can be going into arms. So the idea of having ethical banking where you know that your money is being spent ethically and in a morally responsible way is a really, really, really important thing. The Sunshine Coast Credit Union has helped us in numerous ways over the years. They've donated money towards the building, towards the Water Summit, they donated money towards the Biodiversity Summit, but the main thing is that they're always there in the background in the community. These are local people who really care about the community, and so it's kind of a family thing. I think it's that connection with the local community that matters. There's this fallacy that ethical banking is not profitable, which is completely untrue. We have an opportunity here to leave this place in a state that is going to help the future generations. The whole point is that the ocean is made up of drops, and so each one of us can be a drop and we can have the effect of an ocean.